hold on to your board shorts there, surf enthusiasts. Welcome to SoCal Surf with Dan Nappy. The ocean, angry ocean this morning, but not all bad. It was really difficult to get out. I did not go out. I decided to take pictures instead, but there was watched a lot of people try to get out, and the current was so strong they got sucked down the beach so fast, and it was out of sight for them. One guy tried to stay alongside the pier with everything he had, and he was basically paddling towards the pillars at almost perpendicular with a slight angle outside, and it took him a long time, but he finally made it outside right alongside the pier. Anybody who tried to paddle straight ended up down by the condos within a couple of minutes. So it was a strong current, very big surf, and mostly closeouts, but it started to pick up a little better as the tide increased. But I didn't go out. I wanted to look at some other areas, so I took a bike down to Newport and started at the jetties where it was huge, still well overhead, double overhead, and it was coming in fast and hollow. I saw a couple of good rides where people got completely covered up, and one guy made it out. Most of them had to bail, but one guy came out and was able to get a clean exit on the tube, and then the other guy didn't. Most of the other ones were just getting covered up and had to ditch the board. And then I moved down further south into the 50s. I think it was 59th Street, and it was unbelievable. There was breaking on the left side of the jetty, just south of the 59th Street Tower, and then it would go right across the front of the jetty, and the tide was out far enough and breaking far enough that you weren't in any real danger of hitting the jetty, but you went sliding across past the jetty on the other side, and I saw quite a few people make that tube, but a lot of the cover-ups were ditches where they couldn't get out and just got worked in that soup there and just get thrown around. One guy was saying he got worked real bad, and so it was pretty gnarly, but it was really quite an adrenaline rush for those guys out in the water. I was tempted to go back and get a surfboard, but Wednesday is my short day, so I would have been in and out pretty quick. So didn't get it, but I went down, took some more trips down towards the south, some more down into the 30s, and the waves got considerably smaller. So they were double overhead, 10, 15-foot faces, and then down by 34, 36, you were looking at waist to shoulder high. So quite a difference in the size of the wave from the 30s into the 50s. And, of course, all the way through to Huntington, which was double overhead, all the way down past the condos. Some talk of Seal Beach. Seal Beach has a real good break in the south when it's big. In between the jetties, just north of the pier of Seal Beach. And we used to call that Ray Bay. Used to be a lot of stingrays in there. I don't know if they still are. Haven't surfed it since the 60s. But I've seen it, and it's when it gets big like this, it breaks real good there and gets some long rides off the jetties out there. So down the 30s, 34, 36, 38, waist to shoulder high. The pier was knee high. And so weird as it may sound, from knee-high surf at the pier all the way down to double overhead at the 50s. And then on the other side of the pier, Newport Pier, there's an area called the 19th Street where it also breaks like a pipeline when it's big right there. So that was really good. So you had some pretty good gnarly surf, but you'd have to be really good to surf it. It's not for the beginners, or even me for that matter, because I just don't have the strength to paddle with the current and the larger surf to get out. So it would have been exhausting for me and a bit on the risky side. So I would have could have worked my way down towards the 30s, and that would have been an okay size for me. But in towards the 50s and to Huntington was just too much work. Very, very strong. A lot of good surfers out there today. They live for this kind of thing, as do I. But that's a little big for me. So tomorrow, if it mellows out a little, it could be really, really good. So keep your fingers crossed for tomorrow. We may have some super gnarly surf, or we may have some really good surf. Who knows? The ocean does whatever it wants. All right, that's it for today. Short one. I didn't go surfing today, but took some pictures. One of them is on here. If you want to see some pics, go to my Facebook and give me a note. and I'll upload them. It's just Dan Nappy in Huntington Beach. See if you can find me. Send me a note, and I'll send you some more pics of the ocean today. And that is it. Check out our sponsors, Merch Hero, Task Bullet, nappyclothing.com, and Swing Easy Hammocks. Thanks for listening. Bye.